A very good evening, everyone. Rudrapur tonight stands as the cathedral of a new dawn. The lights burn bright, the court glistens, and Futsal hold its breath. For this is no ordinary final. This is a story which is going to be written for the very first time. Two names until yesterday, mere whispers, and today they are thunder. Bhawanipur FC, steeped in heritage, chasing immortality in a game played at breakneck speed, and Goal Hunters FC, bold, fearless, chasing glory with every strike, every surge. They arrive as strangers to this stage, but by night's end, one will leave crowned, etched forever in the chronicles of Indian futsal. And as we talk, the Goal Hunters FC and Bhawanipur FC, so far undefeated in this tournament, five back-to-back wins, goals galore for these two sides, will meet for one summit clash, one brilliant battle of the crown. The AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2024-25 has saved its grandest drama for last. Welcome everyone to the final chapter where these two powerhouses collide. Both these teams have knocked last year's finalists. Both these teams have ensured that they play to their very best. It's time to listen what the coaches have to say. In the first place, we have Goal Hunters coach talking and sharing his crucial insights.
We are really excited and motivated for the finals, and this is it's like a dream come true. All the 18 teams, they were trying to reach in the finals, but finally we make it. Yes, definitely it is not going to be a easy match. uh, it is going to be a tough match because they have genuinely some good players, some national players too in their squad, and they have the Indian men's futsal team coach. So still we are going to give them a hard fight, and we'll try to keep cool and calm, compose. We'll try to block the paths. So we'll give them a good fight.
Well, as Mr. Dhirendra Kumar Singh said, they're going to give them a great fight because at the other end stands tall Joshua Stanvas. He's the man who supervised Bhawanipur FC's entire campaign. A quick look at the starting five of Goal Hunters. Ansh Gupta, their skipper, Manav Sharma, the man who got the brace in the semi-finals, Anmol Adhikari, Mahip Adhikari, and Alif Rahman Mullah. They've got pretty decent names on the bench as well. Satyam Thapa, Nishant Gusai, Nitish Sharma, Abhiraj Vikram Singh, Krishan Kumar, Mukul Singh Sean, Paswang Naite, Akshay Huria, and Kuber Bisht. And Dhirendra Kumar Singh once again supervising the entirety of it.
Today, I
At
think it
the
will be
other
a
end,
very good final. Goal Hunters has been a team that in the last 3 seasons also have always had a good team, but they couldn't get past the group stage. This year, finally, they have made it past the group stage and directly into the finals. They are a formidable opponent with who play physically very well, good strong players, and I think it will be the clash of both of the best teams in the tournament today. Goal Hunters, yes, they have been strong defensively. We will play the same way that we have been playing. I mean, my team has scored 55 goals in this tournament, so offensively we are also very strong. So we'll continue the same way that we have been playing. We have our strategy in place, and definitely we'll go all guns blazing in today's final.
well, Joshua Stanvas was bang on. 55 goals for Bhawanipur FC throughout the tournament, and they'll be coming all guns blazing. This is how they got all set for what's to come. A quick look at their starting five. Augustin Savio, the mellow under the sticks. Lalsan Kima, Nikhil Mali, the leading goal scorer of the tournament for now. David Laltlan Sanga, their skipper, and Laltman Zella. And on the bench, they have got Amit Shaw, Shubho Khatwa, Sanjay Sharma, Sandeep Rao, Shamshud Ali, Sachin Patil, Kerolu Apuya, Jayesh Sutar, and Kastur Das, their substitute goalie. Joshua Stanvas is definitely the man from Montreal. And with that being said, today, alongside me in the commentary box, it's going to be Junaid joining me. And he definitely has also been covering this tournament, so he's got his fair shares of insights. A very good evening, Junaid. What do you think this game can turn out into?
Good evening, Rohit. Lovely to be alongside as always for this high octane encounter. And two teams, arguably the best two teams of the competition, have made it through to the finals. Bhawanipur FC have been at their belligerent best. Well, this is how Goal Hunters FC season has panned out, completely annihilating Hazrat Nizamuddin Club in their first game, and then it was goals galore against Pondicherry United Football Academy. Had one-way fixture against K3 Futsal Club in the quarterfinals, getting over Emblem Sports Club, and in the semi-finals, stopping the defending champions Corbett FC, undefeated, unbeaten, a mercurial talented side, Goal Hunters FC from Delhi. And coming back to the point, there was a lot of mutual admiration between the coaches, Rohit and Bhawanipur FC. Well, it's been completely one-sided affair. In almost all the games they've played, uncontested, unchallenged. They came pretty close in their third group stage game, and then in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, almost a one-sided affair. Getting over Minerva Academy, another former champions, and in the semis against Total Football Academy from Hyderabad. So two best teams of the competition, as rightly put by the coach there.
Very rightly pointed out, Junaid, and we have very revered dignitaries amongst us today. Our chief guest for the day is Mr. Rajiv Mehta, ex-IOA Secretary. We have got DK Singh, General Secretary of IOA, Uttarakhand. And we have also got Arif Ali, Executive Committee Member of AIFF. And I think for these young players, it's a massive opportunity because a moment where they get to share the frame with these honored guests that we have amongst themselves. I think it's going to be a massive booster for them as well. It's going to be that catalyst that they are looking forward to. They'll be hoping to create a lasting impact. Bhawanipur FC, they have been doing a phenomenal bit of work altogether in terms of the futsal circuit. And I think, as Joshua Stanvas pointed out, Goal Hunters, they were phenomenal in the last three editions as well. They fought hard. Unfortunately, they were not able to cross the group stages. But here they are, finally in the summit clash, all set to challenge the might of Bhawanipur FC. Well, Junaid, I think we have seen so far that both the teams are aggressively brilliant. 55 goals for Bhawanipur FC, 39 goals for Goal Hunters. How many do you think will we witness in this game?
Well, it's a tough question to answer, Rohit, but the way these guys have been playing, there are familiar names, familiar faces, and a familiar skill set on both sides of the pitch. It's going to be a tough clash. But the way Bhawanipur FC have gone about their business, well, there you have it, the team comparison. The group stage, 3 games on both sides, 32 goals for Bhawanipur, 29 for Goal Hunters, almost equal points, equal wins. And then no clean sheets. The best results, there you have it, right at the bottom of the table. Bhawanipur 16 against 2 conceded, and Goal Hunters, well, they've been on a rampage as well.
The two teams marching out to the center. One last song for the tournament, one last dance that will eventually seal the fate of what has been an extraordinary run for both these teams. Goes without saying, Bhawanipur slightly ahead in terms of that goal scoring flair of theirs, but make no mistake, Goal Hunters, they'll come for Bhawanipur as well. And they are a particular team who knows how to turn things around. Even in the semi-finals, Goal Hunters were trailing not once but twice. But then they ensured that they are fighting till the very end, and they secured a thumping victory. And the two teams out in the center, all set for the pre-match rituals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure to
And I reckon
invite
it's time for the national anthem.
President Uttarakhand Fencing Association and Mr. Arif Ali, Executive Committee Member, Director of
in fact, before we go all guns in, uh, just again a quick heads up for everyone who's watching. We have got honored dignitaries amongst us. Rajiv Mehta, ex-IOA Secretary, is our chief guest for the day. We have got DK Singh, General Secretary, IOAF Uttarakhand. And we have also got Arif Ali, Executive Committee Member of AIFF. A quick handshake, a quick exchange of customary greetings just to boost the morale of all the players who will be taking the center stage, and their captain leading the way, Ansh Gupta, another sensational talent. And yes, it's now time for the national anthem. Right, I think it was just customary photo ops. So the national anthem must have happened already. And now, before the players eventually lock horns in what is going to be a ferocious rivalry for the upcoming 40 minutes of non stop action, a quick few handshakes. And once again, for the ones watching, it's Goal Hunters FC locking horns with Bhawanipore FC for the crown of the tournament. Our match officials are all set as well to arbitrate this game. The two referees for the day, we have got Vishal Mahendrabhai Vara, we have got Divyesh Rajni Shule. Third referee is Syed Khalil, and the timekeeper is Stalin Warrior. And that's Bhawanipur FC hailing all the way from the city of joy. Let's see if they leave the court with unreserved, unchecked, unrivaled, unparalleled joy. And at the other end, it's Goal Hunters. They have been hunting goals, they have been hunting their counterparts ruthlessly and relentlessly. Do they do it once again? And the two captains out in the center, leading Goal Hunters FC, it's Ansh Gupta. And leading Bhawanipur FC, it's David Lalflan Sangha. And as said before, the match officials, Divyesh Rajni Shule and Syed Khalil, the two referees, Kistalin Wanyang, the assistant referee, in fact, the timekeeper rather, it's Vishal Mahendrabhai Vara and Divyesh Rajni Shule are the two referees, and Syed Khalil is the third referee and the all important frame. Junaid, if I ask you a quick prediction, what do you think can the scoreline be at the end of this match?
Well, I'll go 3-1 to rather. I'll have to quickly change my mind considering how Goal Hunters FC have scored goals. They're standing on 44 for the 5 games they've played. Maybe a close 4-2 in favor of Bhawanipur. We'll have to wait and see. It's a very solid side, Bhawanipur. Let's make no mistake. As many as 6 national players in the side, 6 India players starting right in between the sticks with Augustine De Mello. There's Lal Sankhima, Sandeep Rao, David, Nikhil Mali, and Jayesh Sutar. They're all in there. It's a pretty solid side. Not discounting anything like Goal Hunters FC have played this season. It's going to be a tough game for them. They know what's at stake.
And off we roll. On your frame, from the left to the right, in their signature reds, it's the Goal Hunters FC. And on your frame, from the right to the left, in their signature blue and yellow, it's Bhawanipur FC. And as Junaid very rightly pointed out, there are Indian players in the mix, and of course the Indian futsal coach is out there as well, Joshua Stanvas. I think Bhawanipur FC, what they'll try and do is they'll try and steal a goal in the early minutes. They'll try and create pressure on Goal Hunters, and Goal Hunters, on the contrary, they'll try and push Bhawanipur for as long as they can without conceding a goal, because a team like Bhawanipur FC, if you try and contain them without conceding a goal, I think then they'll start feeling the heat. A bit of an early opportunity there for Goal Hunters FC. They were looking for the shooting lane. It was Anmol Adhikari who wanted to take that shot on the turn but kind of missed out. Leading goal scorers, Nikhil Mali, of course, you were talking about him, 16 goals. Vijay Gusai, 13 goals for him as well. And Akum Yangar from Apuyemi Football Club, he scored a dozen as well. An opportunity for Bhawanipur straight away and blocked. Attack galore in the first few seconds already.
That's right, and Nikhil Mali, right on top of his game, leading goal scorer. Was also the leading goal scorer in the first edition, winning the tournament with. Here comes Bhawanipur. Goes just wide of the target, and trying to make those early inroads, like Rohit pointed out a couple of minutes back. They would want to set the tone of this game. And David scored a brace in the semis. The first goal scorer for the Indian national side. And David. Here comes Mali, strikes! And that hasn't missed by much. Coming back to Nikhil Mali, Rohit was the top scorer in the very first edition, winning the championship with Delhi FC, and followed suit with Minerva, scoring 25 in the second edition. Didn't feature in the third, and then here he is looking for his third opportunity at the championship.
Well, Nikhil Mali is an absolute predator. The man who's always making ripples altogether. And more importantly, the predatory instincts of Nikhil Mali, it allows him to very fearlessly pounce upon his opposition. And the kind of start that we already have seen from Bhawanipur, again trying to control the ball, sets it back. If there's one thing that's really menacing about Bhawanipur is how quickly they can come forward and how quickly they can unleash and unload the shots altogether. That shooting flair of theirs has always been the talk of the town, and that's what they are riding high on. And the ones who can give conversion to all the shots that they take, it's Nikhil Mali himself.
That's right. Here comes Goal Hunters through Anmol Adhikari. Lays it off! Oh, that has gone in! That has gone in! The first goal of the final going Goal Hunters FC's way. And what a start this is to the finals, Rohit.
Oh, absolutely. One from the capital. Excellent control. Opened up the shooting lane with precision. A couple of touches. And then came the pile driver. No chance whatsoever for Agustin Savio Di Mello. First breakthrough altogether for the Hunters, which will make Bhawanipur FC a lot more famished. This game is not done. This game is far from over, actually. In fact, with that goal, I think Goal Hunters might have kicked the Hornets' nest. Let's see if the Hornets come rushing, all guns blazing.
That's right, and to be fair to Agustin Di Mello, he got a hand to it. And then the ferocity with which he struck Mahip Adhikari, that was second to none. Confirmation of the goal scorer, Mahip Adhikari, with an absolute pile driver.
I think Bhawanipur also realizes the importance of getting that equalizer early. Again, a fine turn, and I think that's definitely going to be a foul, no questions asked. It clearly was a tuck from the back, and it's the captain of Bhawanipur, David Laltan Sanga, who was brought down. We'll take a look at how it happened. Fine first touch altogether, and then a tuck from the back to ensure that he doesn't get that free-willing space that he was looking forward to. Nonetheless, free kick from a dangerous position.
That's right. Nudge in the back. Don't forget, it's going to be 5 accumulated fouls, 5 free kicks in the first half for each of the sides, and the 6th and subsequent onwards will have to be unhindered from a distance of 10 meters from the goal. There goes Mali, lays it off and skied over
Well, could have been better. You need a bit more precision when you are a goal down, particularly in the finale. I think Bhawanipur FC, if there's one thing that they cannot do out here, that's get desperate. They have got firepower, they've got goal scorers. Just because they are a goal down, that doesn't mean that they have lost the game. It's the end of the road for them. Good control there. Phenomenal control, in fact. Plays it to the left. Controls it nice enough. Looking for support. Trying to dribble his way past. Mispasses. Here's another opportunity for goal hunters from the right. Shot comes in. This is a categorical start. Manav Sharma as well, trying to find the back of the net. And Bhawanipur FC under early pressure.
They'll have to try and get some patience. Here comes David, strikes! And goes just past the target. Well, they'll keep coming at you. They haven't been under these circumstances. Bhawanipur started this game as favourites. They know definitely for the fact that Goal Hunters FC won't be mere turnovers. Takes the deflection and goes out for a kicking.
Absolutely, Junaid very rightly pointed out that goal hunters, they aren't going to be mere pushovers. They are going to fight till the very end. And to be honest, they actually have a very good defense in place. And as we said before, Bhawanipur FC and Goal Hunters FC, they have been unbeaten throughout the tournament. And not just unbeaten, they have won all their games, which makes them very dangerous. So whichsoever team goes down will be tasting their first defeat. Goal Hunters cool and calm on the ball, and they are controlling possession, kind of asking out Bhawanipur to come forward and challenge the ball. Another opportunity. And Goal Hunters, they are kind of relentless right now. They want goals and they want more goals. They want the insurance strike as well, because they know Bhawanipur, if put under pressure, can actually crack.
That's right, and definitely not the kind of start Bhawanipur would have wanted. Under the pump straight away in the first 4 minutes and a bit. Augustine gets a hang of it. And don't forget, the goalkeeper has to release the ball in 4 seconds in his own half. One of the rules of futsal. And trying to go and find David. And couldn't quite get to the end of it. They've done good defensively right throughout the tournament. Goal Hunters FC have conceded only 9 in the 5 games. And here comes Goal Hunters. He's trying to look for Anmol Adhikari. Ends up over-hitting it. Anmol Adhikari, one of the shining lights as far as Goal Hunters FC are concerned. Player of the tournament in Delhi Futsal Championship. And has had an incredible year, 2024-25.
With that being said, I think Ansh Gupta as well, he's doing a fine job. Even in the semi-final, he stood tall, used that towering stature of his to perfection. Another long ball there. Bhawanipur, they're trying to keep the ball out of that danger zone of theirs. Lalsan Kima trying to accelerate from the left. Missed out. Let's see if they can create a chance. It still stays with Bhawanipur. Another fine forward ball. Nice first touch to control that. Sets it up for the on-rushing player. Will he come in with that shot? David looking for that opening, but misses out. Gets blocked.
Well, again, there you see the defensive side of Goal Hunters FC and pretty organized in the back, not allowing any time and space on the ball. And all those passing lanes have been cut out, just like their coach, Dhirendra Kumar Singh mentioned. They're not going to make it easy for Bhawanipur.
Very rightly pointed out, Junaid. They're not going to make it easy for Bhawanipur. Bhawanipur will have to earn those goals if they are to win this championship. But I think the referee, he wants to have a quick chat with the players, possibly telling them just calm down. And Ansh Gupta, once again, like the captain, he steps up and assures the referee that, all right, we'll oblige. Another chance, shot comes in, takes a deflection, goes out for a corner. The Vincent looks like it's going to be him to take that corner. Obviously, a lot will depend on Vincent as well, because he is another active, integral part. Again, trying to be cheeky from distance, but then missed out. So far, the first 5 minutes of the game, both the teams have actually countered each other. Bhawanipur started on a fiery note, but then goal hunters, they were back to their best. 3 back-to-back corners, nicely traded away. And there's another run for the Hunters. Nice switch on to the right. A lovely shot. Oh, what an opportunity. Woodwork comes in the way, or else it could have been 2-0. And then at the other end, it could have been catastrophic. But somehow or the other, the ball stays away. And the scoreline still remains 1-0. Terrific stuff altogether, Junaid.
Well, brilliant. Absolutely breathtaking on both sides of the court. The Goal Hunters FC denied by Woodwork, and on the other side, a chance for Bhawanipur FC as well. Arif Rahman Mullah hasn't been put to test as yet. Here comes the shot! And goes wide of the target. Bhawanipur, they won't keep quiet for long. There will be a repost coming in at some stage or the other. And don't forget, you'll see personnel changing all the time for both the sides. One of the rules of futsal. And just that the teams can reshape their game. An opportunity in front. But again, Rahman Mullah, the best goalkeeper for Delhi Futsal Championship this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Alif Rahman Mullah, he was also integral in the semi-finals, stood tall under the sticks, and once again delivering with a smile on his face. And more importantly, he can also assist his team in the attacks as well. He's got a very good shot at his behest. It's a kick in. Quite a powerful one at that. Ansh Gupta stays on the ball. Ansh gets blocked. Another kick in for the goal hunters. This has been a great start altogether. A volley of attacks and counter-attacks. The game oscillating from one hemisphere to the other. And quite worthy of the finale as well. Just a few moments ago, the Hunters almost found that insurance strike that they were looking forward to. And that definitely will be a foul, and that's possibly going to be the first one for Bhawanipore FC. For the ones watching, just to give you all a quick reminder, after 5 fouls in a half, if a team concedes another, they will concede a penalty. So that won't be a promising spectacle at all. So both the teams will have to be careful about the fouls as well.
Taken swiftly. Here's Rahman. A long ball out towards the right. Wasn't allowed to turn there. Mahipati for scorer with a strike. More hope than conviction. It's been a very good start from Goal Hunters' perspective. Nearly got their second. Desperately looking for that insurance goal. And Bhawanipur at this point of time will have to try and hold their shape, because they know the attacking prowess they have been plundering goals left, right and centre. And they'll have to believe they can bounce back from any given stage. It's going to be absolutely critical from their perspective that they don't concede another one at the earliest.
Goes without saying, Junaid. Right now, if Bhawanipur goes on to concede another goal, it will be an absolute thunderbolt through their aspirations and more of a jaunt altogether. This is uncharted territory for them. They have never really trailed in the tournament. This is the first time they are trailing. So from here on, how do they respond? How do they react? And how do they adapt? That will be $1 million question. Yes, they are positive in terms of their body language. They are relentless. But then at the same time, you got to understand it's goals that will get you where you want to be. Not all the positivity, not all the dominance. Nice bit of ball control there from the Hunters onto the extreme left. A lovely chip there, trying to control it on the far left. This time loses out possession after a decent duel altogether. And it's slowly and steadily building amongst the big rivalry. It's the small rivalries that will make a lot of difference, Junaid.
That's right. Here's Goal Hunterz FC again. They're not shying away from taking the shot way out. It's good interception. And trying to go all the way through all by himself. Cuts back. And the red shirt is rightly positioned. It's all about positioning in futsal. Was there just in the nick of time. Here's Lal Sankima. Moves towards the right to find Rolupuya, who had a good game in the semi-final. Still haven't seen the best of Nikhil Mali as yet. Taking his time. Here he comes into picture. On his left. Cuts back on the right. Goes through with a shot. Might have taken a deflection on its way out. And to be fair, Rahman Mullah hasn't been tested whatsoever in the first 7.5 minutes here, Rohit, because Bhawanipur, we all know what they can do when they are in possession, especially with the kind of attacking prowess they have. But Mullah has yet to make that sort of a save that he's known for.
Being very honest, Junaid, I think the kind of defensive showdown that we have seen so far from Goal Hunters, that's really impressive. They know what they want from this game, and they know that given the fact that they have found the goal, they'll have to stop the shooting range of Bhawanipur FC. Bhawanipur have got extremely phenomenal sharpshooters, and that is where they need to ensure the fact that they have the defensive reinforcements in place, and so far the defense has actually clicked. And that is what they'll hope for as the game progresses. Bhawanipur kind of desperate there, trying to breach. Another long ranger comes floating in, but it goes wide as well. They are trying all possible combinations, trying their luck from distance, trying to come close, but so far, Goal Hunters, they have stood the test of time.
That's right, and cutting down those passing lanes, tracking all the possible options that they have, not allowing any space in between the lines. It's a pretty organized, pretty structured defense from Goal Hunters FC. And that is something they would want to continue for the rest of the games. 8 minutes and 30 seconds have been ticked off. Still a long, long way to go in the contest. Anything can happen with the kind of reinforcements they have. Here comes Bhawanipur once again. Cut back! Looked like for a moment Rolapuya was in with a shout. Goes just past him. Bhawanipur once again and trying their best with the repost. Was taking a deflection on its way through. It's a corner. Here they once again scanning for the movements up the pitch. Rolapuya goes through and couldn't quite keep the ball in.
It goes without saying, futsal is a game where, like the way speed, breakneck speed, plays a very crucial and a critical role. Similarly, control plays an equally important role. Oh, another long ball, and then a bit of a fumble there from Augustine. I think now he's starting to feel the heat again. Not really tested so far, apart from the goal which he conceded. You'll have to understand one thing out here, that every single mistake can be very, very costly. That is how good both the teams are. Bhawanipur now, they did have a glimmer of hope, but then once again the ball went out of play. I think the first 10 minutes, we can say that it still very much is in the balance, both the teams coming out. But when it comes to creating positive chances, Goal Hunters might be ahead just by the skin of their teeth. Once again, another one. This time, though, Augustine quick to close down the angle. Another lovely chance. That's goal number 2. What's happening for Bhawanipur? They are being consumed by a series of surprises. A lovely setup by the captain, Ansh Gupta. Just take a look at this. Clinical, absolutely clinical. And an artistic finish. A touch that will go down through the historic scrolls of futsal. Sensational, Junaid.
Well, absolutely breathtaking. What a game this is turning out to be. What a final. Here comes Bhawanipur meanwhile. And that was a glorious moment. They had to wrap their laces behind that one. Goal Hunters FC have got their cushion. They're clearly ahead in the game now. And that's where the character will be tested. Bhawanipur will have to come back strongly and provide a response at the earliest now. Miss Goal Hunters gets intercepted. Trying to open up on the turnover. Confirmation of the goal scorer, Mukhul Singh Sean, opening his left leg and guiding the ball through into the back of the net past Augustine de Mello, the India goalkeeper. Hasn't had a good game up until this point, but all that can change. Bhawanipur pretty much capable. David takes the shot. On the second attempt, there was an opportunity. No blue shirt was close towards Mula. What a start this is for Goal Hunters, Rohit.
Goes without saying, Junaid. I think Bhawanipur as well looking for a chance. There was a lovely run through the left. It was Vincent trying to sneak one. But then sensational goalkeeping from Alif Rahman Mullah, standing tall under the sticks, ensuring the fact that he's protecting his team's citadel. And here's another opportunity, but this time misses out on the ball. It was a decent run from Mukul Singh Sean. After that goal, he will be boiling with confidence. But it's getting tougher and tougher. Every second that passes by, Bhawanipur starts feeling the heat a bit more. And they will want that all-important first goal here. That's a lovely turn, trying to set it up. Here comes the shot, but again, it was from distance and it was emasculated as well. So not really able to conjure the power that he would have wanted behind the shot. And at the end of the day, another chance goes begging.
Straight into that cluster of red and blue shirts. That shot taken. Jayesh Sutar on your screens. Scored a brace, scored a hat-trick in fact in the semi-finals against Tofa. Long ball out. And again, nestle pass. That defense has been absolutely on money right from the get-go from Goal Hunters FC. Haven't given an inch for Bhawanipur all the way through in the 11 minutes that have been kicked off here. There's Augustine de Mello. Passes on to that one safely. David scanning for movement up the pitch. Here's Sachin. Goes back towards David. Pretty sure they haven't expected this Bhawanipur. You all know what Goal Hunters FC presents. And third one strikes. We all know what was expected of Goal Hunters FC, Rohit, but the kind of start they've got. Here comes Bhawanipur. Scruff off the ground. And that's going to be a foul. Had a free kick. They're up in arms.
I think Dhirendra Singh, he's trying to point out that the player lost his footing. Yes, there was contact, all right. But again, we need to take a closer look, a slower look at that. And in all likelihood, I think a penalty has been given. I'm not really sure where the point of contact was, because the foul will be given where the point of contact was. Yeah, not a penalty. I think free kick out there. So they've got a three-man ball, and also a yellow card has been shown, which means some pressure and a bit of an opening out here. Let's see if they can make this opening count. And I think what you were saying, what was expected of Bhawanipore was to try and score an early goal, and what was expected of goal hunters was to throw a spanner in the plans of Bhawanipore. But so far, they have done it perfectly. Could have been 3-0 up, but unfortunately, the woodwork came in the way. And they have got two players, Vincent, Sachin, all set to try and fire home what can be that first goal and what can also be the opening of the floodgates. You never know. Vincent takes it. Great save out there from Alif Rahman Mullah, standing tall again. This is phenomenal goalkeeping, Junaid.
Well, that's right. Pretty strong hands. He parries the ball over. Here's Bhawanipur, meanwhile, desperate to get one back. And they haven't been in this territory before. They haven't been two down. They've completely annihilated games. And the opponents, a header, couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. And the opportunities keep coming towards Bhawanipur. They haven't been clinical enough in front of the goal. On the other side, goal Hunterz FC, whenever they have got the ball, they have tried to absolutely test out Augustin de Mello. They've done it a couple of times and have come out triumphs. Here's Mullah looking for his distribution options and finds Mukul Singh. Goes for the back. A long ball out again. And again, the coordination that we see from goal Hunterz FC, Rohit, on point straight away.
Junaid, I think if there's one thing that goal hunters have been doing repeatedly, again, a bit of chaos altogether. And I was just coming to that word, but somehow or the other, goal hunters managed to extract it out of my mouth prematurely. What goal hunters have been doing is that they are planting chaos altogether. The kind of system, the kind of method that Bhawanipur tries to get, get hold of, goal hunters aren't allowing them that. Every single time Bhawanipur's coming for an attack, goal hunters are getting the number behind and ensuring that they are forcing Bhawanipur to take those shots early. Now that corner, it flashed in front of a player and he couldn't get a foot to it because that was way too overpowered. And all this chaos, it's reaping dividends for goal hunters. Somehow, if Bhawanipur can maintain their calm, their composure, I think it will only be good for them. They might find an opening that they have been so desperately looking for.
Very aptly put in there, Rohit, because they haven't been allowed that the fraction of an extra second try and take those shots or cut inside and test out the goalkeeper. They've been forced to take shots from wide, from out, but it shows the kind of defensive strategies goal Hunters FC have placed in this final. They came here with a plan to stifle the opponents, and they are well and truly on their way. It's a 2-goal lead they are looking at with slightly under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Here's Bhawanipur, meanwhile, still looking for that repost, still looking for the first goal of this mega final, the fourth edition of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship. It's been going from strength to strength since inception, and again skied over. Again, coming back to the point of introducing this in the calendar year, Rohit. It was discussed in 2019 executive committee meeting and then slotted in 2021, where the first edition took place. And since then on, the championship has come a long way. And this year, the scheduling has been just perfect because India is scheduled to play Kuwait, Australia, and Mongolia in the AFC Futsal Qualifiers 2026. And slated to play Kuwait on the 20th of September. Then we'll go on to play Australia on the 22nd and followed by Mongolia on 24th. All the games scheduled in Kuwait.
And I think after this tournament, we can safely say that India actually has quite a few players to look forward to. Timeout has been asked. Looks like Bhawanipore FC, they want a bit of a breather out here. And getting back to the discussions that we are having, players like Ansh Gupta, players like Manav Sharma, Mahib Adhikari as well, and at the other end, the likes of Nikhil Mali, the likes of David Lalsanga, of course, someone like Augustine De Mello. And I think the other teams who have been knocked out as well, they have also got quite a few players whom AIFF will have their eyes on. And I think these are very promising signs. And you can see out in the center, Joshua Stanvas, the head coach, his assistant coach, Shomijit Karmakar. He's also been associated with the club for a long time. And more importantly, I think the best part about Bhawanipur FC is that the environment in the team, that is absolutely brilliant. And it's not just about the environment, it's also about Joshua Stanvas. I think every single team that he has coached, the players have always come up with this one testimonial which has always remained in common, that the environment which he creates out in the dressing room, that is absolutely mind-blowing. Players feel very comfortable, players feel very safe around him.
That's right, and has been at the helm of affairs with the Indian national side, both men's and women's, since 2023. And a fair bunch of the players in the India squad as well, like we pointed out earlier. I spent a lot of time with these boys with a very strong domestic CV. Joshua Stanvas started with Dempo, then Churchill Brothers. A shot from David, I believe, and Mullah into action straight away. Forces a save. Trying to get some mopping done on the court. Get a bit slippery with the moisture. Corner for Bhawanipur as the hunt for the first goal continues to go on.
This game, it's going to be quite a prolonged one. Both the teams will be hunting for goals. It goes without saying, the goal hunters, their name is a giveaway that they are not here to just be pushovers. They are here to hunt. And at the other end, Bhawanipore FC, a team that is steeped in history and heritage. They will also want a championship for themselves. Quite a run it is going to be for them. And Bhawanipore, I think another important thing that GSFC has actually done very impressively is that they have blocked the shots. They haven't been afraid to throw bodies on the line, in the line of fire. Every single shot that has been attempted has been blocked. Another one. How effortlessly they have been blocking shots. Another opportunity now for the Hunterz. Shot comes in. And Augustine this time comes up with a crucial save. Time and time again, goal hunters knocking on the doors. And they are banking heavily on the counter attacks. And so far, it has reaped pretty handsome dividends. And Bhawanipore, despite coming on the offensive, somehow or the other fails to breach what has been an airtight defense from the Hunterz.
They've come with a proper game plan. They've sat back, defended, whole rampage of attack we've seen from Bhawanipur. When the opportunity on the turnovers arise, they are quick to pounce on. They've scored twice, have come close, hitting the woodwork once. There's Nikhil Mali, meanwhile, scanning up for options. He finds one towards his left in Jayesh Sutar. He's anticipating the run coming in from the right, taken away again by goal hunters. Never so effortlessly. Again, not being allowed to turn there. Yes, David. And held on his tracks there. Brilliant defensive work once again. This time it's Mahib Adhikari.
Kick in for Bhawanipur FC. Still looking for that opening goal. So far, they have been kind of outmatched. And we actually have pretty filled up stands today. Just tells you the growing love for futsal in India. And also the decent work that is being done by AIFF in terms of building a core group of players for futsal. Over the last few years, India has been growing in futsal significantly. Another setup, another shot, again blocked away. No easy way out so far for Bhawanipur FC. Time and time again, they've come forward hoping to breach the defenses. They have taken shots left, right, and center, and yet all they have found is the feet of their opposition. It feels like they are up against an ocean of red boots, and there's no helmsman who can steer them out of this quagmire. They keep on chasing shadows and ghosts. When will they come out of it? Here's another chance, wanting to be cheeky, but then the angle was kind of difficult. But not the worst of ideas, to be honest, from Nikhil Mali. I think it was a bit of a tricky challenge for Alif Rahman Mullah as well to quickly switch and try and stave it away. What would you say, Junaid?
That's right, and was trying to be cheeky there. Had to get down just in the nick of time, but goes side netting. And my prediction before the start of the game has certainly gone out of the window. It has to be absolutely miraculous from here on. If I have to get it right, Bhawanipur will have to score 4 times and make sure goal hunters are kept at an arm's length, leading by 2 goals with 3 minutes and a thick bit to be played in the first half. Goal Hunters FC is Augustin looking for options for distribution. Goes down the line, taken away by a red shirt. Strikes in from a distance. Hits straight into a blue shirt. Jay Sutar, long ball out towards David. Couldn't quite keep it in his tracks. Rahman Mullah hasn't been put to scale as yet. Goes long, goes towards his opposite number. Here's Nikhil Mali, and does well to keep the ball in his reach. Here's Nikhil, and again not being allowed to take the shot. Is there a nudge in the back? They are appealing. He's kept account of how many times he's been sort of nudged or fouled rather. There's going to be a foul counted against Bhawanipur FC. Their third of the first half. And signs of desperateness there from Jayesh Sutar, Rohit.
Yeah, I think he needed to maintain his composure out on that one. He clearly understood that Ansh Gupta, he's almost running away with that. So he had to get one for the team. Lucky that he didn't get booked. A gentle chip there from the captain, Ansh. But then it's not that easy to try and beat Augustine from that long of a range. That too with a very feeble hit like that. But then it's never really wrong to try. You know, you can always keep on testing your counterparts, keep on probing them. Another fine setup and a lovely run forward, and Nikhil Mali swipes it wide again. Over and over again, this is happening. This has been a recurrent motive so far in the final. Bhawanipur FC trying desperately to open up the floodgates. But I think more than being desperate, if there's one thing that they need to ensure, let's try and keep control of the game, try and dominate the possession for a while. It's not the last minute of the game that you are a part of. So try and control the possession, try and get goal hunters out of that defensive integument that's in place. That's a lovely bit of work, decent first touch, but then excellent body shielding as well. Looks like Alif Rahman Mullah, he's appealing for a foul, and the referee has obliged. It's going to be a yellow card for Vincent. Yeah, the referee keeps on calling, and there you go, yellow card shown to Vincent. And it very clearly tells us, Junaid, that it's going all haywire right now for Bhawanipur FC.
Well, that's right, and looks like it's David Lalsong Songa who's got under the ref's books. They'll have to try and be organized, or rather be disciplined, with 2 minutes and a bit to be played in the first half. Bhawanipur FC is definitely not gone according to the plan for them. Getting a bit snappy. They'll have to believe they've got time. It hasn't gone worst as yet. It's a 2-goal deficit with the attacking flair that they possess. And they'll have to try and believe that they can overcome that hurdle at any given point in time. It's been clearly not their half. We'll have to try and go back to the drawing board, come back strongly with the second set of 20 minutes. Here's David and takes it, turns, finds, was trying to find Nikhil Mali towards his left, stationed firmly. And again, the ball whistle pass across him.
Another free kick being given. And we have been talking about the frustration bit of Bhawanipore. If you take a look at that foul meter already, 4 fouls registered, one after this, and from there on they'll be walking on eggshells because they don't want to concede a penalty here. That might be catastrophic altogether. Another long throw coming in from AIFF, and a decent bit of control there. Kind of compelled to push all the way back. Looks like the last touch came of a Bhawanipur player, and immediately the Hunterz, they were willing to let the ball slide off the court. Another long throw, nicely controlled, going to be a kick in. You know, in overall comparison, I think Bhawanipur somehow is missing out on a few good chances. That's because they are taking shots in a headlong manner. Only if they are able to calm themselves down. Again, this was a fine run, but trying to overcome two defenders along the way and then unload a shot, it's always going to be difficult for you. And another thing, Junaid, if you notice in Bhawanipur's outing, there is a massive gap between all the players. They are not connected today. Ideally, it's Bhawanipur's combination chemistry that's their key strength. But today, it feels like 5 players that are on the court, 4 of them are running isolated. They don't know where the other one's running. They don't know whom to play the ball to. They don't know how to combine together. And that is really proving to be a very expensive price that they are paying for now.
It's very well pointed out. And on the flip side, if you see, the goal hunters pretty narrow when they sit up defensively. Here comes Bhawanipur meanwhile. And again, good defensive skills shown by the boys in red. There's a kick in for Bhawanipur. Shot taken. Goes wide again. Of lack coordination in the first half, Bhawanipur. A lot of spaces being provided in between the players. It's a pretty scattered approach. Here's goal hunters now. Up, goes back to Ansh Gupta. Augustin has all the time in the world to try and pass that safely. Here they come once again. Can they try and get one back before the halftime hooter goes off? Jay Sutar still hustling for the ball. Shielded quite well by Mahip Adhikari. Goes behind.
Quickly rolled, and now taking a couple of steps then. That's a lovely release. And that should be foul number 5. Another yellow card shown. Bhawanipur will have to be very, very careful from here on. It's going all wrong for them. And this looks like some serious agony. He's clutching on to that shin bone of his. It's Mahip Adhikari who's gone down. He's the man who opened the scoring for Bull Hunters. And now in visible pain as well. In all likelihood, we'll take a look there. That was a sensational run. He went past 2 players, and that clearly was a foul. No wonder why the referee went for the card straight away. He came smashing in. And ideally, in a foul like this, you have to be very, very careful. He was nowhere near the ball. Bhawanipur, it feels like somehow or the other, they have kind of ossified. They need a jump start right now. This could have been a deadly injury. Thankfully, he landed on his hands, and that means that he should be okay if his shin bone hasn't caught any severe blow. It's gonna sting for a while, but modern day medicines kind of assures us that he's going to be okay. What do you think, Junaid?
Well, that's right. It was a rough challenge. There you have a look at it again from a different angle. Went straight into his shin, rather, and took a proper beating, a proper whack. And visible pain. Still hasn't moved an inch as the physio looks on. Will have to be carried off the field, off the court rather. It's been held out by the captain Ansh Gupta as the players from the touchline looks on gingerly walking out of the court. Mahip Adhikari, they don't want to lose him at this stage of the game. It's been a very good first half. He was a bit wary of the fact that a challenge would be thrown in. He was looking the other way. Well, he will be nursed on the touchline. Still got about 29 seconds left in the first half. 5 fouls conceded by Bhawanipur. Still looking for their opening goal. Clearly hasn't gone their way in the first set of 20 minutes. Goal Hunterz FC, can they try and conjure something in whatever is remained in the first half? Here's Ansh Gupta. He strikes straight into a blue shirt. And they want to finish off the first half strongly here, Rohit, because they've got the job done as far as the first half goes. Goal Hunterz just close out the final few seconds.
Absolutely. And I think these remaining 27 seconds, Bhawanipore needs to be extra cautious. They have filled out their foulometer, if that's what we are calling. 5 fouls already, a sixth will lead to a penalty. And they will not want that at all cost. And once again, Ansh Gupta getting ready, takes the shot blocked away. And Goal Hunterz, they can keep on doing this all day long. No trouble at all. They'll keep on shooting over and over again. And I think a bit of a word there for Ansh Gupta. He had to drag the picket fencing back. Ansh, another shot this time, takes another deflection. And once again, it goes out. This half, I reckon, is far away from being over. It keeps on oscillating from one end to the other. This time it's a corner for the Hunterz. Referee again blowing the whistle. Oh, in fact, it's a kick in, it's not a corner. So Ansh just having a bit of a modulation there. Another shot, another block. And Goal Hunterz now playing it all the way back to Alif Rahman Mullah. And Alif plays a long one straight into the hands of Augustine. No problem at all for him. But I think this half, it has tested Augustine. It has tested Bhawanipur. And as you said, Junaid, before, that when they go into that tunnel, they'll have to take a look at that drawing board. They'll have to recalibrate their strategies and come out with fresher feet.
That's right. And what we've seen so far is they've lacked composure, have looked snappy at times, they've got a bit frustrated. That's when your character will be absolutely tested. Here's Vincent. So there comes the first half hooter. It's been quite a show by the boys in red. They came out all guns blazing, scored the 2 goals, and they sit pretty with some sort of cushion going into the halftime break. How do you see this, Rohit?
Well, I would say Goal Hunterz so far has done a sensational job. They have kind of did their homework perfectly. They've understood what gets Bhawanipur ticking. They've ensured that they are not letting any of those shots in. They have planted the seeds of chaos and pandemonium. And that cacophony in the defensive half of Goal Hunterz has left Bhawanipur kind of gasping for breath and absolutely desperate. You never know, however, what comes in the second half, because this is what futsal is all about. It can twist and turn. It won't be moving in a uniform motion. It will switch from one end to the other. It will crash, it'll twist, it'll turn, it'll burn, and it will leave us all asking for more. But for now, Bhawanipur definitely left seeking for more. The scoreline at the halftime mark is Goal Hunterz FC 2, Bhawanipur FC 0. We'll try and tell you more about the numbers that dictated the first half of this brilliant encounter. 20 minutes of pure non-stop madness. And a quick look at the stats. 44% ball possession for Goal Hunters, 56 for Bhawanipur. 7 shots taken from Goal Hunters, 4 of them on target. 16 shots taken by Bhawanipur, 8 of them on target. 5 saves from Goal Hunters, 2 saves from the Bhawanipur club goalie, and 7 corners for Bhawanipur, but none of them fructifying. 3 fouls committed by Goal Hunters, 5 committed by Bhawanipur. And these stats were brought to you by Sports KPI. With that being said, we'll take a short breather and return with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back even before you blink. Hello, everyone. We welcome you back to the second half of the ongoing grand finale, the AIFF Futsal Championship, Club Futsal Championship 2024-25 keeps on rumbling, and we have seen some crazy footballing action from both the teams. Bhawanipore FC, however, still to find that opening goal, and at the other end, goal hunters, they have already found a couple of them. But then this is futsal, so just because you're leading by 2 goals doesn't mean that you have pocketed the game already. This game twists, this game turns, this game crashes, this game burns. And anything can happen at any point in time. So make no mistake, we have 20 minutes of riveting action coming up. Bhawanipur FC goes without saying that they will be going all guns blazing. And at the other end, goal hunters, they will be desperate to keep things under control. They'll be desperate to hold on to that lead out there. And more importantly, they will be hoping to keep Bhawanipur at bay. And if possible, get another goal maybe. Because if they get a third goal, it will feel like a mountain, almost unscalable for Bhawanipur FC. Now your frame kicking from left to right in their blues and yellows. It's Bhawanipur FC hailing all the way from the city of joy, Kolkata. And on your frame attacking from the right to the left, dressed in their signature red. It is Goal Hunters. And joining me in the commentary box is Junaid Ahmed. Junaid, what do you think the second half might look like?
Well, from Goal Hunter's perspective, Rohit, thank you first of all. They'll have to continue to do what they've been doing right throughout the first 20 minutes. The next goal in the game holds absolute key from both sides' perspective. Goal Hunters would want to make sure they score the next one and just take this game far and far away from Bhawanipur FC's reach. And Bhawanipur, knowing them right throughout the campaign, we all know what they are made of. And they will come back fighting. Here's Nikhil Mali. Finds an option towards the left, shot taken, and a very strong hand from Rahman Mula. It's been right on money in this campaign. Has conceded only 9 times in the 5 games they've played before this one. And you'll have to have something absolutely special to beat that man in between the sticks. But early signs of aggression coming in from Bhawanipur FC, Rohit.
Yeah, and that's actually a very decent start. Another shot, and once again standing tall between the sticks out there. Alif Rahman Mullah, always up for a challenge, always taking one head on, and more importantly, absolutely unfazed when the ball comes gushing at him. That's how good he is. And you very rightly said, throughout the tournament, he's been extremely consistent. Bhawanipur, however, they want to bear out their cylinders. Another shot comes in. A bit of a difficult angle, and it was not easy to try and squeeze one in. The idea was right, but they need more support. And we said this in the first half. It feels like they are playing out an isolated brand of futsal, and it won't help their cause. They'll have to try and connect the dots. Another shot from distance, but I think someone like Alif Rahman Mullah, he will take these shots all day long. In fact, he'll be hoping that Bhawanipur keeps on taking these shots. The reason being, it kind of takes away the precision factor from them. And in terms of defense, I think Goal Hunters have actually done a phenomenal job. They have stood rightly tall in front of Bhawanipur, blocking the shots left, right, and center.
No space in between the lines. Nothing past them. Here comes the overlapping run from the right. And a bit of a deflection to take it out. It's going to be a kick in for Goal Hunters FC. He's had a phenomenal game up until this point. And from their perspective, they would hope it continues for another 18 minutes.
Absolutely, another 18 non-stop minutes. Because at the end of the day, a lot will depend on how the upcoming 7 to 8 minutes goes on. The first 10 minutes of the second half might just set the tone for the remaining 10 minutes to come. Here's a chance for goal hunters, but then a crucial tackle and the long range up, trying to pry the gateway to glory open. But then again, slam shut. Bhawanipur also make no mistake, they might be trailing, but they can turn this game around in a flash. They have got such firepower. The likes of Nikhil Mali, the likes of Vincent, extremely adept sharpshooters. They just need a bit of confidence. That's a decent 1-2 in progress. Fine control, now trying to penetrate from the right, but gets stuck just ahead of the D. A lovely outside dodge, but then a bit of a hefty touch on that one, and the ball finds its way out. Another chance goes begging. Another opportunity that was in the build-up fizzled away into oblivion. Fine control now. Goal hunters desperate for that third goal. They know how critical that third goal can be, not because it will seal the fate of the game, but because it will be a massive booster in terms of momentum for whichsoever side gets it. If Bhawanipur nets it, then Bhawanipur will be coming all guns blazing and they will make life miserable for goal hunters. And if goal hunters find that third goal, then Bhawanipur might very well be done and dusted.
Very aptly put in there, Rohit, because from goal hunter's perspective, third goal will, and with the kind of defense they have showcased right up until this point, it's going to be tough to break for Bhawanipur, and they know that because the next goal is going to be absolute key from Bhawanipur's perspective. And trying to go with a long ball out. Here's goal hunters through Mahipadikari. He's looking to find punch towards his right. Here comes Akshay marching forward. We've got number in front of him. It's David meanwhile. And Mula will do that all day long. He's lacking one and behind that one. And Sandeep Urao, another India international. Like you mentioned a couple of times, Rohit, they've got all the firepower. They started the second half on a bright note. Have taken a few shots on the target, but hasn't been able to break past Alif Rahman Mullah. Still got a lot of time left. It's all about maintaining that composure. A lovely link up, a shot! Nikhil Mali wasn't far away. Looks like it has taken a deflection on its way through and has gone out for a corner. But definitely right signs for Bhawanipur FC here, Rohit.
Undoubtedly, absolutely right signs, and that's how they ought to play. You gotta keep on pressing as high as possible. They gotta keep that accelerator, that foot on that accelerator at all times. A bit of a chat there between the two players, between the players and the referee out there was Mahip Adhikari. I mean, he's had a great game as well. Corner for Bhawanipur, taken quickly enough. Another shot comes in, a bit of confusion in the box. A chance for Bhawanipur to try and get that first goal. And once again gets beaten. A cheap concession, another shot, and it goes wide. This has been one of the most extraordinary relays for Bhawanipur. But then, time and time again, it feels like, as they say, fortune favors the brave. Similarly, a bit of luck now favoring the goal hunters because they have been valiant, they have been redoubtable, and more importantly, they are not willing to give in until that final whistle is being blown.
More importantly, they have been brave. Fortune favors the brave, as we've seen time and time again. But that was a very good move from Bhawanipur. Had a couple of shots in a pretty quick instant. But then on the day, haven't been able to find that target as yet. Still seems to be in pain. waking up and trying to get up on his feet. Mahip Adhikari, he was down in the first half as well, and making his way out momentarily. That gives an opportunity for Mukul to get back onto the court and will defend this corner. Here's Nikhil, who's trying to get something on it. David again scarred it over the crossbar. 4 minutes already into the second half, and Bhawanipore FC, though they have started the second half strongly, still hunting for that goal. Here they come once again through their captain David, looking for Sandeep to make that run, and hurled away by a red shirt.
Another kick in quickly taken by Bhawanipore FC. For now, Bhawanipore still chasing shadows out here. Another long ranger once again blocked away just in the nick of time. Another shot, but again not in the frame of the goal. This has been a wild goose chase for Bhawanipore FC, who are famished for goals, and yet somehow goal hunters, they have managed to keep their opposition, their counterparts at bay. This has been a systematic approach from them, and it keeps on ripping handsome dividends. And just take a look at how they outmuscle their counterparts. This might be an opening for goal hunters. The shot comes in, but Augustine with a crucial save. This very well could have put the game to bed once and for all. But then Augustine knows the importance of the next goal, knows that no matter what, he will have to stand tall. No matter how bad it hurts, he'll have to be in the line of fire. And he delivers like a true titan, like a true messiah, keeping Bhawanipur alive. And it's now up to the strikers, up to the attackers, up to the marauders for Bhawanipur to try and get themselves on the scoring sheet, thereby meting out justice to what has been a sensational save from Augustine a few moments ago.
That's right. Let's get themselves in the game. Here's goal hunters. They'll have to try and maintain that composure. They know Bhawanipur has come out, all guns blazing. They've taken a few shots on the target. Has tested out only Frehman Mullah, Nikhil Mali in particular. He's got a few shots away in the last 5 minutes. And that is something Goal Hunters FC will have to watch out. They've done well. They've sat back, absorbed pressure. They've taken a few shots and have done exceedingly well when it comes down to counter-attacks. There's Goal Hunters Bhawanipur, beg your pardon, Nikhil! And again, a deflection sends it behind for another corner. That has been the order of the day as far as Bhawanipur FC are concerned. They've had a lot of shots taken towards the target, but hasn't been able to find the back of the net. And again, a long ranger taken away by a red shirt, gets dispossessed and goes wide and wide of the target. It's turning out to be a very exciting set of second half here, Rohit. Both teams not giving up, going toe-to-toe when it comes down to their attacking prowess.
Absolutely, Junaid, goes without saying. Both the teams matching each other ounce for ounce. And that's what the tone of a grand finale should be. It shouldn't be lopsided. It should be both teams equally matched, well equipped. I think both of us were on the commentary panel for the final last year as well, and it was another thriller. A late goal is what changed the fate of the game. Another crucial save there. Another thumping shot, and Alif Rahman Mullah says, that ball's not going in, not at least under my watch. Phenomenal goalkeeping. This man, no matter how many words we need to gather for him, it will fall short. For he's the titan today. He's the titan of the Hunters. And he's the one who's keeping that citadel of theirs absolutely safe. Bhawanipur, who have scored throughout the tournament, scoring 55 goals in 5 matches. It tells you volumes about their attacking prowess, and they have been stalled. And thanks to that one man, AIFF Rahman Mullah, unforgiving goalkeeper. And you give him a split second, and then you hurl a meteor at him, he can stave that away without a second thought. How good has he been, Junaid?
Losing out on objectives on AIFF Rahman Mullah. Just 9 conceded. And clearly the best defensive side to have played the competition this year. Lifts it over. In with a chance. Couldn't quite convert that into an opportunity. And on the turnover, here's David marching forward and lets it roll through a bit cheekily. Looks like it's Akshay. And just lets it go. And it's going to be all about game management for Goal Hunters FC. They can try and score one more here. That will just put this game to bed. It's been a good second half. Bhawanipure again. They'll have to maintain that composure, believe in themselves, dig into those reserve tanks and make sure they get one back at the earliest. Otherwise, time is going to keep running out. It's going to be very, very difficult, especially with the kind of defensive skill set Goal Hunters FC have shown. Again, not allowing David to turn on that occasion. Goal Hunters gets robbed of the ball. March forward, cut back. Not tonight, says AIFF Rahman Mullah once again. Brilliant goalkeeping. And bounces on to that one safely. He's feeling his left thigh a little bit. He should be back on his feet in no time.
What a warrior. What an absolute warrior. And the reflexes once again. The first one did pop out of his hands. And then there were sights of chaos. But he ensured the fact that he's latching onto the ball. And today the stands are actually full. We have got fans of all age turning up in numbers. Why not? But again, make no mistake, everyone, it's a Monday evening. It's not a weekend that we are having this game on. It's a Monday evening that we are having this game on. And guess what? We still have numbers pouring in. That just tells you that how fans absolutely love the sport in India. All the way to Augustine. And Augustine trying to be cheeky, releases the ball as well. Bhawanipore trying to make the most of it, plays it to that left. Can they again open up the shooting lane? Shot comes in, blocked away. Finally, they have managed to break through. They kept on knocking on the doors. And after a long time, after an eternity of desperation, Shubo Katwa, he gets the second ball and he pokes the rebound home from point blank range. No mistake whatsoever. Will this be the twist in the tale that we have been talking about, Junaid?
The perfect build-up from here on for the last 12 minutes. A shot taken. You got a strong hand to it. Saw it late, rather, I believe. And then was positioned just at the right place, at the right time. Sandeep Subo Katwa, beg your pardon. And finally, that defense has been broken. Confirmation of the goal scorer, Subo Katwa, getting one back for Bhawanipore FC. We've been desperately trying to score their first. Here's Jayesh. And trying to play into Nikhil Mali. Wasn't allowed to have a go at the target. Sachin Patil is on the court as well. Now, how will Goal Hunters FC respond is a big question. Here's Subo. You can definitely see a bit of a spring to the stride of the boys in blue. Here they come marching forward again, and this time lifted over the crossbar. And Goal Hunters FC will have to try and maintain that composure. They've done well, exceedingly well rather, up until this point. Have to keep going at it. Now, it'll be very interesting to see if what sort of tactics they deploy here, Rohit, because they've sat back, they've soaked in the pressure and have tried to hit Bhawanipur on the counter. Will that change, or will they still stick to that same strategy?
I believe that the same strategy actually works for them. It was another long ball, nicely headed, but then there wasn't anyone from goal hunters to make the most of it. Again, there's this one thing that we say in English: don't try and fix something which is not broken. And truth be told, I think goal hunters haven't done anything wrong so far. Yes, they conceded the goal all right, but that doesn't mean that it's time for them to smash the panic button already. I think they have defended brilliantly. They have come together. It goes without saying Bhawanipore is going to mount more pressure. But if you start recalibrating your decisions because you have conceded a goal, that means the initial plan you came in with was a fallible one. There's a reason why your coach chalked up an initial plan against a team like Bhawanipur FC and it has worked so far. And Alif Rahman Mullah, after conceding the goal, gets hold of that first ball. Excellent throw in front, but now somehow it feels like goal hunters might just start parking the bus a bit. They will not want Bhawanipur to try and hit them back on counters over and over again. You can see already too many players inside the D right now, and just that one player coming in front. Because moments before we saw the entire team was coming together as a unit, but the moment they have conceded, things have taken a drastic turn. And this is how quickly games can change. This is how quickly it can be an entirely, a diametrically different affair altogether, Junaid.
That's right. And talking about the magnitude of the game, I mentioned a few minutes back about the last year's humdinger between Corbett FC and Golazo. Here's Mahip Adhikari. Meanwhile, strikes! And skied over. We'll see more and more of that. They'll have to try and tighten out the defenses. They'll desperately try and do that. Opening up the spaces to try and take those shots from the distance. Is there a slip or was there a nudge in the back? The referee has quickly reached out to his pocket. Looks like it's Jay Sutar who's gone into his books. He was pretty quick to spot that. It happened right in front of his eyes. Coming back to that point of the last humdinger, Rohit, we were involved in the commentary for that. And this game is definitely following a similar sort of template. No as many goals as yet, but in terms of intensity, in terms of the fight, it's definitely right up there. And the coach of Bhawanipur FC, Joshua Stanwas, still trying to get a few tactics thrown across. And strikes it hard and low, but wide of the target. And still got 10 minutes to go, Rohit. And it's going to be a riveting contest from here on.
Absolutely goes without saying, Junaid. It definitely has the makings of a great game. And once again, trying to be cheeky, trying to wing one of those rare chances, leaving Alif Rahman Mullah startled. But then it's not that easy. You will have to work your way out. It's as simple as that because you're not playing against a regular opponent, you're playing against a superpower. These are two superpowers of Indian futsal for now. And both these teams, they know each other very well. They've done their homework very well. And no wonder we are actually having a game which has been entertaining. And it continues to keep on giving. Now both the teams might hesitate in getting on changes as well, because ideally when your team starts finding the right rhythm, the right chord in a game like this where every second counts, it's not like football that you might while away a few seconds. The moment the game stops, the clock stops, and that is why we have stop clock in play. So you can't waste a second. You have to play for literally every single second, and that's what makes it a lot more interesting. That's why you've got to be on guard till that last moment, till the time the hooter hasn't gone off, and that really makes it intriguing, fascinating to be honest. Free kick here for Bhawanipur. Is there another long shot that's going to come? And it did, but again nicely blocked away. And now the tussle for the ball goes on the right and eventually goes out of the court, resulting in a kick in for goal hunters. But what a contest this has been! What an absolute thriller this has been! A battle truly living up to the stratospheric standards of a summit clash.
living up to the expectation. Two top sides unbeaten in the competition, and 3-3 in the group stage for both the sides. Then the quarterfinal, and then the semis. Goal Hunters FC stopping the last time champions Corbett FC. And Bhawanipur, we have seen what they've done right throughout the campaign, scoring goals left, right, and centre. It's all about the last 9 minutes of the second half. Can Gold Hunters FC hold on to that slender lead they have, or can Bhawanipur FC manage something, conjure something out?
I think a lot will have to be talked about for sure. But truth be told, both these teams will have to keep on battling till the very end. And you can see the crowd, they are very stoked up. They're enjoying the game. And why not? I think this has been a game. We can see Mohammad Rizwan out there in the stands. He was leading Corbett FC, and he's been quite an influential presence in terms of bringing youngsters to the mix. He's supervising a lot of Corbett FC's action. He's been the head coach of the team for a while now. And I think all the players who have taken part in this game, I think it's they have actually done a phenomenal job. The teams that even crashed out of the tournament, I think they fought well. And now we can expect this final, the remaining 9 minutes in the contest, to actually go forward at full bloom. And both the teams to come up with something dramatic, something miraculous. A bit of a stumble, a bit of a stutter. Bhawanipore still manages to stay tall on their feet. But eventually a bit of a heavy touch and it takes the ball away. But this game, it's going nowhere. It'll keep on ticking, it'll keep on oscillating from one end to the other. And it's coming to you live on the official YouTube channel of Indian football. So stay tuned, everyone. For the ones watching, this is as close as you can come to a great thriller. An opportunity for Bhawanipur. A loud appeal for a foul. Referee snubs it. Junaid, how would you assess the second half so far?
Well, Bhawanipur definitely has come out pretty strongly. They've managed to get a goal back. Goal Hunters FC still looking for their third. And like you mentioned a few minutes earlier, they might just park the bus and be content with that lead, which will eventually crown them if it stays the way it is. In the fourth edition, we will have a new champion. It's been that way in the last three editions. Delhi FC with the first, Minerva in the second, Corbett FC under the chaperonage of Mohammad Rizwan last year. And we'll have the last laugh. Here's David and trying to turn it. And here's the whistle going. It's going to be a foul. And third in the second half, as a timeout has been taken. Looks like it's Goal Hunters FC's timeout. An opportunity for Virendra Kumar Singh to throw in a quick word. Get those tactics right. I'm not quite sure if it's a timeout as yet, because the referee has asked the players to get back onto the court.
Here's the free kick
It's
that
a
we
free
have
kick.
been talking about. Apologies, Junaid, on that one. Now the gentle chip straight into the hands of AIFF, and AIFF continues to do what he does best. Oh, this time he might have given it away. A chance for Bhawanipur to equalize, and that's the equalizer! A rattling strike into the back of the net. All the resilience, all the defiance have finally given way. One moment of madness, and that is how quickly all the hard work and diligence that you have knitted over the last 30 minutes can disintegrate into thin air.
Does ever so brilliantly to maintain that composure in front of the target. A bit of a trickery. And then David manages to put behind Alif Rahman Mullah, who's been so good this evening. The game is well and truly back to parity. There's 2 goals apiece with 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes to play. How will Goal Hunters FC respond? Here's David again, turning away, takes a shot on target, goes well wide of Rahman Mullah. Now, the whistle has gone on, and it's going to be a timeout. Most like it's taken by Goal Hunters FC. Virendra Kumar Singh trying to get a word across, re-strategize, reshape, get the tactics right. 8 minutes. They'll have to do it all over again. And scored 2 goals in the first half, or definitely in the ascendancy. And then comes Bhawanipur. Started second half pretty strongly, and then getting that second goal a few moments ago. Back on the court for the remainder of the second half. They'll have to make sure they've got that composure. Rohit, under 8 minutes to go. How do you see this panning out? Definitely has followed the same template from last year's final. And this one well and truly going down to the wire.
Being very honest, if you ask me how do I see this game panning out from here, I would say that it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go mad. And everybody watching the game, they are in for a treat. The way these two teams have played, that has been absolutely ecstatic. That's what futsal is all about. The sheer pace, the sheer intensity. Bhawanipur comes knocking on the doors again. And now they are looking a lot more composed. Another setup, but this time, Goal Hunters, they play spoil sport to their plans. I think Goal Hunters, these upcoming 2 minutes are going to be very, very crucial for them because they'll have to understand what they are up against. They'll have to understand that they are up against a team who can fire on all cylinders. So they cannot commit errors at all. They'll have to be very, very precise and meticulous in terms of ball control. They'll have to be on their toes, and more importantly, they'll have to keep on moving on their feet. And if they are not doing so, it can be trouble for them. Another fine ball and a lovely cross. But then Alif Mullah, he stands tall, trying to offer a bit of hope. A chance for Goal Hunters! And Augustine. Save. What a brilliant save. Had this gone in, again, it could have been a telling blow to the aspirations of Bhawanipur. Oh, what a match, Junaid. What an absolute thriller of a match are we witnessing. It keeps on oscillating. Another shot straight to Alif Mullah.
Well, you'll have to love the ebbs and flows of this game. The moment you see Bhawanipur on the ascendancy, you see something absolutely special coming in from Goal Hunters. We'll have to try and keep knocking on the door. You can definitely see a bit of flair to the way Bhawanipur FC has responded after those goals have gone in. Will something change? You can see Alif Rahman Mullah, beg your pardon, coming off his line and taking a much advancing position. There's Mahip Adhikari. Have to redo that with a kick in. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. And something's got to give. Again, a long ball out. And Augustine, we've spoken so highly about Alif Rahman Mullah, but Augustine with a couple of brilliant saves has kept Bhawanipur FC in the hunt right throughout. Had it not been for him in the first half as well as in the second a few moments ago. Again, decent touchdown and was trying to turn, wasn't allowed by Jay Sutar. Was being pretty active defensively. Scored a brilliant hat-trick in the semis. He's performed his defensive duties right, even in the semi-finals and in the final, right up to the task. Does well to get it away from the first. Lays it on for Sachin. Goes full throttle. Goes wide of the target. 6 minutes to go, Rohit. This is turning out to be quite a humdinger of a contest here.
Truly, this is indeed a remarkable battle unfurling ahead of us. It feels like two alphas of futsal are face to face, and none of them are willing to take a backseat. They want to keep on fighting. Again, too many questions out on the horizon, and all of them will need an answer. And I think the upcoming 5.5 minutes, in terms of the stop clock, will give us all the answers. Whether we go into extra time or we go into penalty, or does the match have a late twist? You never know. But truth be told, if the first half belonged to Goal Hunters, the second half definitely belongs to Bhawanipur. They have been clinical from the word go itself. They have kept on driving on all cylinders, and they have finally managed to get Goal Hunters into the wall. Now the question is, can Goal Hunters retaliate with another strike? Because in the semi-final they did something like that. They were down twice, and not only did they find their way back, again another foul, the referee blowing the whistle, the game getting a lot more physical, too many stoppages in the play, and that is because none of the teams want to bow out of this battle with a defeat next to their name. If they have come this close to glory, they want the holy grail of the AIFF Futsal Championship. Another lovely layoff. The idea was to try and find the one who was right in front of the net, who could have actually tried to head home from that range, but it could have been a difficult angle. And at the end of the day, it goes out because nobody could latch on to that. Junaid, what a phenomenal battle this has been. And it simply keeps on giving with every succeeding second and minute.
That's right. Pound to pound, ounce to ounce, toe to toe, whatever we might want to call it. Edge of a seat trailer. Here's Goal Hunters meanwhile looking to find a way through. It's a decent opportunity, goes all around it. They go up in arms and looks like the ref has pointed to the spot. We'll have to wait and see, but looking like the reactions coming in from Nikhil Mali. The ref has made the decision. Still going on and having a word with his assistant. They both combine. Seem to be pretty satisfied. And there you see, goes around the keeper. It's pretty difficult to see from this angle. Ansh Gupta. It was a tangle of legs and a very, very good opportunity here, Rohit, for Goal Hunters FC to try and claw their way back into the contest.
Oh, absolutely. What a golden chance this has been. And it's time that the captain steps up. Or, in fact, it's Mahip Adhikari who has been handed over the onus of getting Goal Hunters back in the driver's seat. Right now, Bhawanipore FC, they will be sweating profusely. Mahip's all set for the spot kick. Can he get his team back in the game? Crucial seconds, nervy moments. And what a brilliant save. And the rebound, however, has been bubbled into the back of the net. Goal number 3 for Goal Hunters. The hunt continues. The hunt for the Holy Grail. Bhawanipur now in some serious trouble. It was an excellent save from Augustine. But then he'll also have to keep the rebound at bay. But then this man, he knows nothing but the net. And he ensured that once the ball is at his behest, he's going to power it into the back of the net, even if his life depended upon it.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. From one side to the other, the game keeps on oscillating. And 2 goals in the second half for Bhawanipur, just when it looked like they've got the ascendancy. And the penalty conceded. And goal Hunterz FC. They've been unfortunate a couple of times. A shot deflected, hitting the woodwork, and then they've got their luck back just in the nick of time, getting a penalty and converting it with a rebound. Bhwanipur will have to do it all over again.
It looks like Bhawanipore has actually gone for a change in personnel, and that is Jay Sutar has now donned the threads of the goalkeeper, which means they have got all 5 players out in pursuit of a goal. And I think this is the right way to go about it. Even if they lose this game from here on by 2 more goals, it won't matter. Whether it's 5-2 or whether it's 3-2. At the end of the day, it'll be the same. Goalkeeper was out of his line, but then the goal hunters this time missing out. And now it's all desperation for Bhawanipur. I think goal hunters, the only thing that they need out here is composure. They'll have to stick their backs to backs, and they'll have to ensure that this fight goes on at all times. And Bhawanipur, I am pretty sure, Junaid, they are going to come for their opposition's throats over and over again. You can see Joshua Stanvas on his feet, extremely animated. The man is a very passionate contender of the game, and he's not going to give in that easy.
Nervy moments for both the sides. Bhawanipur desperate. Takes the strike and goes wide. We'll see Jay Sutar gonna come on. And that's the risk they'll have to take. David goes wide again. We saw in the semi-final, Tofa deployed the same strategy when they were desperate to try and get a goal back in the last few minutes. They were trailing the game badly and then ended up conceding one more right towards the very end. Dhirendra Kumar Singh would be elated with the sort of performance his side has put in. They've all put in a proper shift. They were wary of the fact that they were facing one of the toughest opponents in the competition, with a lot of international players at helm. Looks like there is a foul conceded on Mahip Adhikari, who's hit the court. And Augustin will be back in between the sticks for his defensive duties. And that's what happens at times, Rohit, because still got about 3 minutes. They've deployed the strategy of pushing men forward. If you lose out on the possession, might just going to be a freebie or a giveaway to your opponent.
Absolutely, Junaid. Get every hand possible on deck here. You can't afford to allow your opposition anymore. I think he'll consider himself lucky. Bhawanipur almost snatched the ball away. Another long ranger, this time way too much elevation on the ball. I think the goal hunters towards the end, they got a bit lucky in that semi-final because things were pretty level in terms of technique and also in terms of goals with Corbett FC. But then that last goal, it was an own goal that was conceded. A shot came and it took a weird deflection, and that was that winning goal that sealed the fate of the game. So with that being said, I think the last goal that was scored by goal hunters, it was more or less like the entire opposition coming up. The entire goal was keeping. All they had to do was just drill it home, and they did accept the invitation. But now it's a crucial test for the goal hunters' defense because Bhawanipur, they are going to empty out that closet of theirs. They are going to put in all possible options in the center. Another corner right now. Looks like Jay Sultan, he's not happy. But excellent defending once again by Sharma. He's standing tall. He wants to ensure the fact that his team fights till the very end. The corner taken quickly enough. Under control. Another square ball to the left. Another shot attempted. Another block and a kick in. Junaid, things are getting very, very pacey out here.
Very, very pacey, very, very heated up. You can keep an eye on the touchline. Pretty animated. Dhirendra Kumar Singh, every save his team makes. There is a fist pump, a shot taken. And Alif Rahman Mullah had it pretty easy in the end. We'll have to take something absolutely special to test him out. Here's Bhawanipur. The flock bodies forward. Jay Sutar is up, taking his position towards the top right. Nikhil Mali. Nikhil cuts back. Again, a very good defensive showcase from Goal Hunters FC. 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. They are piling on the pressure on that back line, on that defense. And slotted home! Hits the woodwork and back into play. That is the moment. Halif Rahman Mullah bounces onto that one. Here comes Mahib, strikes! And goes just wide of the target, missing narrowly from there forth. End-to-end stuff, Rohit.
Absolutely electric. And Augustine now rushing back because just moments ago things almost went out of control. This is what a summit clash looks like. Both the teams are not willing to go down. Such a beauty of a game this has been. And that's what we call not just a thriller, this is what we call absolute cinema. And just take a look at how quickly Augustine wants to start rushing in. I think Augustine will be going for a change because Jay Sutar, he's out in the center. So when they go on the offensive, they're getting Jay Sutar in the mix. Another shot attempted, once again, another one blocked. I think now, apart from blindly shooting, they'll need a bit more coordination, a bit more passing. They still have 90 seconds remaining, which should be more than enough to get themselves a goal. A lovely setup, what a save! What a brilliant save! Had that gone in, that would have been an equalizer. But then Alif Rahman Mullah says, no matter what you throw at me, what you hurl at me, till the time I stand tall, I am going to keep on defying you. Defiance of the highest possible order, Junaid.
Safe hands and quick reflexes. It's definitely been a game of the goalkeepers. We've seen Augustine make a couple of absolutely gorgeous saves. There you see. Decent turnout. Mohammad Rizwan sitting there with the contingents. That was a save worthy of winning the finals. It was definitely at a point-blank range. And only Rahman Mullah gets his body behind the line. And there's Ansh with the kick in. Back with Ansh. Again, not allowed a route forward. Well in his tracks. 1 minute and 20 seconds. And Joshua Stan was. That might have taken the woodwork on his way through. Yes, definitely it did. The referee making sure the post is well placed. This can go either ways. Bhawanipur will have to get one back. It was a bit of an anguish as the whistle went in. The referee making sure he gets things, keeps things in check. And Bhawanipur once again trying to march forward. Here's Jayesh. Splits it towards the left. Floated a grounder, and this time a block. Can they try and march forward? Here they come! Have they seen the deal here? Number 4 for Goal Hunters FC. Mahip Adhikari. Has he got the ground for the Goal Hunters? What a game this is. What a game this has turned out to be. It was Bhawanipur FC in the second, but those 2 goals, they were taking that risk of having men forward, losing out on the possession, and was tucked in beautifully by number 17, Mahip Adhikari. And what a game this has turned out to be, Rohit. From one way to the other. And looks like it's going to be Goal Hunters FC all the way through from here on with under 1 minute to play.
Yeah, unless a remarkable turnaround happens tonight, this game is done. This game is 6 feet under, and I think we have found our champions. 2 goals, a bit too much to ask to be plugged in. 53 seconds. What we can expect is a volley of shots altogether. And I think we also saw a bit of frustration from Bhawanipur after the goal was conceded. And here comes Bhawanipore once again. They don't have much time left. Jay Sutar will have to go for the shot. Another brilliant save. It was a difficult angle and a crucial sliding tackle. Goal hunters aren't going down. They don't want to submit to the momentum of Bhawanipur FC. They want to keep on fighting. They have had enough. This has been a battle of two teams who are hunting, and they hunted hard. But then, as they say, Junaid, in games, when you play, you win some, you lose some. And Bhawanipur, after what has been a phenomenal tournament for them, the final just turned out to be a great game as well, only for them to miss out on a clash of extremes. Again, not the best of corners, way too behind, crucial seconds stolen away. They are taking their time. Another forward ball straight into the hands of Arif Rahman Mullah. What a player! What a sensational, phenomenal, stellar player has Arif been.
It's been absolutely brilliant. Can they try and get one more? Takes a jibe at the target. Didn't find the route through. Here's Mukul. Mahib takes it, turns. Did well. Bhawanipur. And is it the code? He's got himself a foul. Got to be a bit watchful here. Here comes Bhawanipur with seconds to play. Goes with a shot from the outside of his boot. Under 6 seconds. Can they try and conjure something out of it? Jayesh couldn't quite keep it in. A fist pump on the touchline with 5 seconds to go. All but surely, Goal Hunters FC would believe that they have hunted down the title here. Two best teams have made their way through to the final, the 4th edition. Well, there goes the hooter. We have seen the champions in front of our eyes here. Goal Hunters FC, the 4th edition of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2024-25 season, have been crowned the champions. Rohit, all yours.
Well, absolutely. The Hunters here have become the kings. Goal Hunters FC. What a team. They were born with ambition. They were fueled by fire. And they were crowned in Rudrapur. A team that dared to dream and tonight dared to deliver. They were up against a team that scored 55 goals until this game. And here they were, showing what makes them the true champions. As they say, if it's going to be jubilation in one corner, it's going to be heartbreak in another. Bhawanipur FC, they tried to play their hearts out. They did everything they could. But then there are days when no matter what you have at your behest, it won't work. They fought and they fought truly well. But Goal Hunters, they stood like pillars. They stood like pillars unbreachable. They were the Fort Knox. And that Fort Knox were not even touched. Yes, there was a point in time when things went all fair and square. It was to all, and it felt like we are going to have madness unfurling. But one moment of madness, one wrong foul is what allowed Goal Hunters to get the momentum back. And from there on, it was desperation for Bhawanipur. And eventually, as a result, they had to concede. So yes, Goal Hunters FC, they are the champions of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship, as their name echoes through the halls of Indian futsal forevermore. Junaid, how would you rate this journey of Goal Hunters throughout the tournament? 6 matches unbeaten, 6 matches victorious on the trot.
Well, it all started with the Delhi Futsal Championship earlier this year. We were crowned champions there with some of the fine players coming through. The likes of Anmol Adhikari, Arif Rahman Mullah, and here at a big stage displaying what they are made of. They've got that mercurial talent and they have showcased it right throughout the campaign. And pretty hard to beat defensively. Conceded just 9 before this final and scoring 44 in the process. It's a very good mixture of their attacking prowess as well as their defensive display on the big stage on a big evening. getting the better of one of the teams of the championship in Bhawanipore FC. As you see, the champions board being brought forward. Goal Hunterz FC deservingly has got their names etched onto it and has gone into the folklore of the AIFF Futsal Championship.
Truly a battle to remember, a battle to savor. It went from one end to the other, it went from one hemisphere to the other. A clash of extremes, a clash of brilliant attack against a rock solid defense. A clash of a team that always scored. A quick look at the numbers: 49% possession for Goal Hunters, 51 for Bhawanipur, pretty neck to neck. 14 shots taken by Goal Hunters, 7 of them on target. Bhawanipur almost went out their entire tank. 31 shots unloaded, 18 on target. 13 sems pulled off by AIFF Mullah and 2 pulled out by Augustine. 2 corners for Goal Hunters. Bhawanipur had a plethora of them, 15, and yet couldn't convert them. 8 fouls committed by Goal Hunters, 9 committed by Bhawanipur, 1 yellow card for Goal Hunters, 3 committed for Bhawanipur. And these stats were brought to you by Sports KPI. With that being said, we come to the conclusion. The curtains come down on the AIFF Futsal Club Championship as Goal Hunters FC emerge as the champions of the tournament at the expense of Bhawanipur FC by 4-2. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you everyone for being a part of this extraordinary journey. Thank you everyone for supporting Indian futsal. Stay tuned everyone. The prize distribution ceremony will be coming on. And with this, we'll take a quick look at the highlights before we actually bow out. This is how it all started. Bhawanipur unloading shots left, right, and center at the very beginning, and it was quite a stern test for the entire defense of Goal Hunters. And then Goal Hunters managed to decode the Bhawanipur defense with a phenomenal shot. Lovely strike, no questions asked, and a fine turn by Mahip Adhikari, and one on the money. And then one after the other, the Hunters kept on hunting. They were in desperate need of goals, and they kept on fighting with everything they could. Rocking from one end to the other, somehow or the other, missing out on a few chances. Some extraordinary defending as well. And Bhawanipur, they never really stopped from taking those shots. Junaid, if you would take us through the remainder of the highlights.
What a game it was. Bhawanipur came back strongly in the second half, but before that, there was a second goal that went in the first half. It was rightly placed and found the option and was tucked home beautifully. AIFF Mullah, an absolutely fantastic game. Jayesh Sutar had a couple of opportunities. David was into the mix for a lot of action in front of the goal. And again, brilliant defensive work. They came in with a strategy to try and stifle their opponents, Goal Hunters. And they've done that absolutely brilliantly. So that was the first one in the second half. Turning home the rebound. Beaten from point blank range. AIFF Mullah. And on the other side, Goal Hunters FC looking to make their way through. Bhawanipur were pretty strong in that spell, trying to get back at the goal. And David getting the game back to parity, maintaining his composure and slotting it home beautifully, giving no chance whatsoever. And that opened up the gate for a lot of excitement, a lot of moments on both sides of the court. And this one, the game-changing, the championship-changing moment. Stopped the first, but the rebound was tucked in quite brilliantly by Mahip Adhikari. And right towards the end, Mahip got his third and completed a hat-trick. A brilliant performance. Goal Hunters FC. Just a confirmation if you have just joined in. It was the finals of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2024-25 season between Goal Hunters FC and Bhawanipur FC. Went down to the wires, and in the end, Goal Hunters coming out triumphs and have been crowned the champions.
And with that being said, we, Rohit and Junaid, your commentators for the day, will be signing off. However, stay tuned, everyone, for the prize distribution ceremony is coming up, and you will not like to miss it at all costs. Thank you, everyone, once again for being the wonderful spectators. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, and we will be back soon again. And thank you, Junaid, as well, for the incredible honors of being on the microphone with me. And with this, we let you enjoy the presentation.
Divya Indigo, the government of Uttarakhand, and the Uttarakhand State Football Association for their constant support in making this championship a grand success. For the post-match presentation ceremony, we would like to invite our dignitaries. Please kindly join us on the stage. Host Arif Ali, Executive Committee Member, All India Football Federation. Chairman AIFF League Committee, Mr. Reza Korji, Head Coach, Indian National Futsal Team. Now, we would like to request all the guests to stay on the stage to honor the match officials of the final. The commemoratives will be presented to Mr. Haubam Khamba Singh. Mr. Piyush Biswas, Mr. Vishal Mahendra Bhai Waja, Mr. Divyesh Rajneesh Ule, Mr. Syed Khalil, Mr. Starlin Wanyang, Mr. Tanveer Wani. Thank you. It's now time for the individual awards, recognizing players who displayed outstanding skill, consistency, and brilliance throughout the championship. Starting with an award to the player who is the last line of defense and delivered exceptional performances. The best goalkeeper of the AIF Futsal Club Championship of 2024 to 25 is Alid Rahman Mohala. From Hunterz FC, we request Mr. Reza Kodi to present the award. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause. Come on. Now the player who dazzled us with his remarkable finishing and sharp eye for goal. The award for the highest goal scorer of the tournament goes to Nikhil Mali from Bhawanipore FC. We request Mr. Reza Kodi to present the award. A round of applause, everyone. The most prestigious individual award recognizing consistency, leadership, and sublime performances. The best player of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship is Mahib Adhikari from Hunterz FC. We request Mr. Arif Ali to present the award to the player. A big round of applause, everyone. Player of the tournament. Now it's time for the team awards, recognize the team that upheld the highest spirit of sportsmanship and respect. The Fair Play Award goes to Real Malabar FC Kondauti. We request Mr. Arif Ali to present the award. The match commissioner will receive the award remark of Real Malabar. Thank you. Moving to the next, now it's time to honor the team that fought valiantly and showcased remarkable talent to reach the final. The runners-up of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship are Bhawanipore FC. We request Mr. Reza Kodi and the other dignitaries to present the medals to the player. We have the check of INR 2 lakhs to be presented to the runner-ups team of the tournament. We invite the captain of the runner-up team, David Latslanga, to come forward and collect the check from Mr. Reza Kodi. A round of applause, everyone, come on. Now, the moment we all been waiting for. It's time to welcome today's winner and champions of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship. Gold Hunters FC. Please give a huge round of applause for the champions, everyone. Now we request Mr. Arif Ali and the dignitaries to kindly present the winners' medals to the players. Can we have a huge round of applause for the champions, please? We would like to request the check of INR rupees 3 lakhs for the winning team of the tournament. We humbly request Arif Ali to present the check to the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for the winning captain Ansh Gupta to come and collect the check on behalf of the Gold Hunters FC team. And finally, for the crowning moment, we request Mr. Arif Ali to hand over the championship trophy to the captain of Ansh Gupta. So put your hands together one final time for the champions of the AIFF Futsal Club Championship 2024-25 Gold Hunters FC. Everybody, big round of applause for the moments. The most awaited moment of an evening. Finally, here are the champions. So that concludes our post-match presentation ceremony on behalf of the All India Football Federation. We thank our dignitaries, the team, our sponsor and partners, the local organizing committee, and most importantly, the fans of the beautiful game. Thank you all for joining us in the evening. Good night. Thank you.